Again, like you say, it doesn't particularly make that much of a difference, but we'll see where it goes. It would be, or should be, Illuminar starting on the CT side. That will be the choice that they do indeed make. So Illuminar, they will be getting, I'd say, more of a comfortable start, but especially on the map that, you know, SG.pro have, I believe, faltered on quite heavily for a side of Illuminar the last time that they played. You know, when the scoreline comes through and you look at it and it's like, wow, they had a 16-4 and a 16-1 the last time that they played Train and Dust 2. For a map like Mirage that is very, very puggy and scrappy, if they get off to the same start, there is an issue here. But Fame, Desert Eagle in hand. That's a way to start the series. First kill already onto Veggie.
Oh, nice way to kick things off here. And as we do see, players here taking over the site itself, that is going to be it. SG.pro have successfully taken over the B-bomb site. Mouse, good kill chiming in, but the problem still remains. 2-on-3 retake on the B side. Incredibly difficult scenes. And now Lonesome Innocent left in the 1v3. There's the kid being picked up, but he's gonna have to waste no time to look for the frags as he moves in. There's 2 free players to find. And he can't get a single one. Fame. Early Deagle investment seems to be a major success here for Fame.
That is what you love. Out the big guns here. They can get away with some nice early damaging. But either way, this one will be a great chance for Illuminar. Again, they'll bring out a bit of a force buy. They'll bring out a little bit of a partial scout buy onto PHR as well. A couple of HGs in there that could really do some solid damage. However, you look at the likes of SG.pro, the weapons they've got posted, especially on a T side with the AKs out, with the utility, they should be able to pretty much calmly get through this round without any sort of dilemmas, any sort of issues. Mouse on this palace angle though. Oh, just get baited out for the shot. Fame comes in for the swing and gets himself 2 on the entry. As I said, should be a fairly simple round, and that is seeming exactly that. Looking like SG.pro should be off to at least a 3-0 start here on Mirage.
Oh, it's a shame the grenades didn't get to see any action. Finally, they've been deployed, but just slaughter here on the side. Veggie, good shot from him. All right, these sort of deagle shots, the one that Veggie pulled off there, could allow him to get some confidence boost, if you will, moving forward. There's a player I want to see step up. It has to be Veggie. You know, Veggie had a tremendous run form yesterday. Let's see if we can keep it up, though. PHR as well. Nice scout shot here on Derail. It looks like the scout might just be the only weapon saved. But overall, it's a victory here for SG.pro, and the upcoming round should be just a full-on eco here for the remaining players of Illuminar. They know they need to keep on the weapons. To do so, they just need to save some cash. So, the full eco will take place.
Giving SG.pro that lovely little 3-0 start here to kick off at least their own map pick. So good to see them getting ready. Face Illuminar head on here in this series. SG.pro. Full eco round coming up here for Illuminar. A chance to more so start stacking their early bank. Keep the CT side at bay. You can come out with 4 or 5 players kept alive. You can see players already on the T side. For the likes of Rufire, for the likes of Fame, all already stacking up early money. They would love to see that at least doubled before they head into any sort of serious encounters with Illuminar. But again, there's still that scout on the field. There's still a couple of pistols here in play. But definitely wouldn't take away from Illuminar at least chiming in with a couple of kills. And do go for a bit of an A-bomb site stack, though, which might be maybe the wrong choice here that SG.pro are slowly starting to work out. Bomb has been recollected by Dere and will begin to head toward what seems like the B bomb site. So they look to have read this very well, actually, making sure that they go to the right site. It will be, well, empty on arrival, it seems, as SG.pro they'll be heading down to the B site. Illuminar at this point, you know, they've got no Kevlar, sure, but do they really want to give sort of bonuses to SG.pro is the question. But either way, good read from the T side, already up to the B bomb site. Great management of essentially what is a full eco round, just ensuring that they don't give anything for free out to Illuminar. And I'd
We've
already
even
seen
seen
rounds
like
like
these
these
go.
go. Yeah, underdog fame
management
more,
of
so
essentially
it's
what is
good
a
to see SG.pro at least, you know, taking even full USP, no Kevlar rounds seriously.
Yeah, because these rounds can turn sour very quick. It all comes down to, for example, SG.pro just choosing the wrong bomb site. Instead of going on B side, they go on A side, and uh-oh, there's a bit of a stack. There's 5 players to kill, and in those sort of angles, it's quite hard to do so. And I like the setup, though. It's neat. 5 players out here middle, expecting someone from SG.pro to go on for a bit of a hunt, you know. Or try to at least escape the bomb explosion through the short area, but unluckily for them, oh, you know, you have Lonesome Fame still holding the angle here. Even gets, oh my goodness, 3 kills by Fame. Does survive with 31 points of health, but I did not expect to see him have so much success. 3 kills being picked up. All 5 players survived. The perfect eco for SG.pro.
That's what you love to see. B-side starting very, very well. Illuminar will be, of course, now into their full gun round. Snacks on that AWP. We know how good he was yesterday, actually. Especially on train, where things did get a little dicey. His AWP was pretty much paramount into the majority of the rounds on that CT side that Illuminar were actually able to keep in their favor. So hopefully he does bring similar impact here. Look at SG.pro this time. Bit of a rotate down toward the B bomb site. Seems like they're already going to be making the charge, but well, there is Snacks. As soon as we call his name, he's there to provide the goods. Gets himself a second. Fame sure gets a refrag, but Veggie, he has such a good little angle to play with. Doesn't spot Fame on the corner of the smoke, though. There's an opportunity right now, but still, Veggie takes it. Good return by Fame, but it's down to a 1v3. Plenty of damage done, but just no way of translating the kills of yet for the side of SG.pro. And, well, it seems like they've read this one entirely. Good hold of Kitchen. No, there's the first. Snacks baited, but gets away with the kill. A 3K for him, and AWP put to instant use.
Oh, that was so scary. Incredibly so. I thought Fame would be in a position to acquire both kills, but Snacks holds the line. Does secure the 3K at the end, and Illuminar finally get the first. Now, Illuminar, if there's one thing we've seen you struggle at, is getting those consecutive rounds in. Same storyline repeated against Tiki Taken and against a team in the form of Crazy. If anything, I want to see them succeed here, and so far, good start. Innocent secures the frag here in Fame. Snacks is ready for the incoming short commitment. Doesn't see anything just yet. Veggie being cautious. Oh, he's gonna go through the smoke. It's dangerous game. He's playing Veggie, and he will consider to retreat. Especially nowadays. With the bench being here in the short position, he has to be incredibly careful of anyone being at this spot. And Senator keeping a close eye on free angles, basically. Short window as well as the connector area. Nice flash. Oh, but Senator is so ready for it.
Such a good kill. Flashbang not affecting him in the slightest. Pro out on their way to the A-bomb site. Oh, through fire, catches Mouse inside of that A-bomb site already. Goes for the swing of jungle as well. There is some great info to be gathered here. Max on his way into the site. Bomb will go down, but Veggie gets away with the double. They do spot out Snacks, at least isolate it back to a 2-on-2. HR, I believe, spotted on the cross. Does some solid damage onto Roofire. Drops him down to 4. They have only defensive nades on the CT side. Not enough, but doesn't matter. They get it. PHR and Veggie coming out with the retake, and more so Veggie putting that M4A1S to incredible use again that we've seen so far. Straight away, actually. They'll swipe a double AWP setup, so Illuminar, they mean business nice and early here.
Oh, and this is good to see. Very nice to see from Illuminar to get that second round in. However, it doesn't get easier from here. The Pro very much back for the investment thanks to the bomb plan they had earlier. As we saw right there on the bomb site, you know, SG.pro, even though they had the site itself, and even though there was no smoke grenades to try and block out the vision of the CTs, they still managed to eliminate a player like Snacks. They still managed to put themselves in the 2v2, and now they're the ones securing the opener here. Kitsa, great way to kick things off as they eliminate one very important player in the form of Mouse.
Good start right now. Already Illuminar will be single man down. Economy is on the rope still. Both of these sides actually plagued with the economy here, as whoever loses this one is most likely down onto an eco. So there is a real chance for a break in play to give one of these sides the chance to either, for Illuminar, tie the scoreline up, get a lot closer, maybe establish a little bit of a lead. Also for SG.pro to start to some solid rounds on the T side. Smokes and mollies go down. Still, smoke start to dissipate. Snacks gets a chance here inside of Palace. The peek comes through, but no, it's a missed shot by Snacks. Oh, the timing for Fame could not be worse, as still he does fall, but Fame gets away with the kill instead. 5 on 3, and it might be Illuminar that are already considering a save at this point.
Oh, especially with that kill. I'd say it's the most reasonable choice to make, to go on for the save. Very nice fadeaway kill on Senator, but the bomb set has fallen. Interestingly enough, the smoke grenades SG.pro deployed, they weren't really the best. There were some gaps in set smokes, and I thought, okay, Illuminar, maybe they still got a chance in this one, but apparently not the case. SG.pro, they run away with themselves with the 4th round, but at least Illuminar kept the weapons. The AWP in the hands of PHR, as well as Vegas and for everyone else. As we can see, you know, they managed to win the 2 rounds here. Illuminar correct, but they're not swimming in money. So much so, in fact, they'll have to make a difficult choice. They go for the purchase here, or will they consider going for the 1 eco? Considering it's early days, I'd say the latter option makes a bit more sense.
Feels like it, yeah. Could be the optimum way for Illuminar to at least manage the economy, and that seems like the likely outcome here. You still have PHR on an AWP, interestingly enough. We'll be taking the roll from Snacks this time. We'll go for a bit of Palace aggression, especially on an eco round like this. I mean, the one thing that SG.pro seem to constantly realize and sort of employ into their tactics is whenever they are facing a bit of a lackluster investment or an eco round purchase, one thing they do is already keep in the mid control, make sure they have at least some distance between themselves and these eco players. And well, there's some great damage inflicted. Veggie already so incredibly low, a single bullet will finish the job, and well, that is the case already. A simple denial of the eco round for SG.pro, and more so losing some, again, valuable weapons here on the CT side. You probably do see PHR going for the save here, drop the AWP out to Snacks in the next round, but more so it's 5-2 for SG.pro. It's a solid T-sided start for them.
Yeah, it's not bad, and in that round as well, you can try to keep your distance for as long as possible, but at some point, you're gonna have to get your hands dirty, and you're gonna have to commit to one of those sides. And SG.pro successfully do so on the B side, without losing a single player as well. That's very clean. You rarely get to see rounds like this. Very nice to witness them. SG.pro, 5th round will be theirs, and Illuminar again not having the best of starts early on here in the map. But at the very least, they'll have just enough money to reinvest, and that's the important bit. The AWP could very easily go in the hands of Snacks. Seems to be part of the game plan here for Illuminar. And I want to see them change things up a little bit. Maybe let's see some more aggression here from the Illuminar side, perhaps in an area like middle. Snacks has the optimal spawn to try and go for the connector peak. You can also have a player joining from window. Early Molotov here at the ramp position. Kisa though, Nade obscuring the vision as well, but just the one player overlooking the area in middle. It's not Snacks, it's Innocent.
Oh, speaking of Snacks, there he is. Damage already done by his AWP. Able to get away with at least the initial frag here. Dire looks like he might actually want to Go for a bit of a swing right now. The flashbang, though, this time not effective. Snacks on the CT box, does lose his life, but the flash is good. Innocent making sure the trades come through. Illuminar do manage to scrape it. Illuminar, they won't care. They get a third round on the board, and more so, they at least start to keep this CT side competitive. Reinvestment come from SG.pro, utility, plenty of it. Kisa picking up a Krieg, though. Something that we very rarely see in this sort of meta game. That was fully blind, predicted Innocent's position, smashes it out of the park.
Oh, Veggie still holds the ground, does go down eventually. But oh my, how did Vey survive there for as long as he did, using the smoke grenade to his advantage? And well, this seems to be a very advantageous round for Illuminar indeed. SG.pro, the early commitment in middle, even though we did see that amazing shot, wouldn't necessarily win them the round. Senator left in a 1 versus 3. The one good thing for Senator is that there's only one player in the B bomb site. In fact, the defense is quite thin here for Illuminar. If Senator finds the right timing, he potentially could get the frag. But then again, he's on 18 points of health, making him incredibly easy and susceptible to bullets. 4-5 it is. Illuminar with a chance to finally break the economy of SG.pro. I think no, they're still going to reinvest. They're still going to reinvest. I mean, throughout the entirety of the first half, we are yet to witness SG.pro go on an eco. They've always had enough cash.
They're getting it from somewhere. Under the mattress, maybe. They keep pulling out these buys. Finally, you can see, yeah, they've at least got some issues in the purchase here. DRA down onto a Deagle, but again, if they win it, they're pretty much back. Keeping up with these full buys and time. Illuminar snacks. You can see what he's trying to do. Gets himself into ladder room, but it is predicted. Beautiful peek by Kisa, taking out Snacks already. Gets himself an AWP, punishes PHR. Kisa through the smoke lands onto Veggie. Oh, this is a turnaround that we love to see. Looks like it's going to be a clean round for SG.pro here, losing absolutely nobody. And that's exactly the way to do it here. Illuminar completely surprised by the change of pace, and that's something that SG.pro just bring out of the arsenal, and it works out brilliantly. A very nice victory to at least keep the T-side economy flowing. They will not have to take an eco yet.
Yeah, at least SG.pro, you know, they're utilizing the ability to play aggressive, but most importantly, fast and loose. That's the one thing when Illuminar faced off Crazy, right? Crazy were the team that would execute when it's 20 seconds remaining, when it's 25 seconds of the clock. That's when they get incredibly close to bomb site, they're going to chuck in smoke grenades, and then they're going to move into the site itself. Whereas a team like SG.pro, they're a bit more prone to, you know, changing things up, going out a bit more aggressive here, going for the early takes on the B bomb site, not going for any sort of map control. And in this case, I mean, Kisa, this is just beautiful scenes. And Illuminar, what's the response? Well, their economy is in tatters. There's the AK-47 in the hands of Mouse. The other players basically just USPs across the board. Senator has the information. There are players in underpass, but as we can see, Kisa again lining up the shots and getting all the kills.
So good here from SG.pro, starting to turn the T side right in their favor. Looking like Illuminar will be struggling a little more than we might have thought here on the CT side. The one thing that we've realized about sort of the way that Illuminar have been playing with PHR as a stand-in, they get very little rounds on the CT sides. I mean, Inferno, I believe, against Crazy was like a 10-5. looking like this one is going to at least be giving SG.pro the first half victory, with just the overall sort of situation that they are in at the moment here, Illuminar. Their CT sides seem to be the ones that are struggling, but either way, SG.pro doing exactly what is expected of them, making sure that this T side is grabbing many rounds as they can. Back into the rebuy, Snacks able to post up the AWP. SG.pro, I mean, like you say, the fact that they are adapting and playing slow, then using the pace to their advantage, it shows a very convincing T side, and more so, it shows that they at least have a solid map pick. I mean, they lost their pick against Exaco Boars, they lost their pick against LDLC yesterday. There is a very sort of nice feel about SG.pro actually choosing Mirage here, because they actually do look like a fairly competent team right now. Snacks trying to be baited out by Kisa, he's having none of it. Waiting for the right time to strike, a missed shot by both of them. Seeing who they can keep in this angle for the longer, but Snacks, he has the one way. No, it's been spotted by Kisa. Has to be so careful, and loses his life. Great entry, and Fame returns the trade.
Innocent? Oh no, he goes down to Kisa again, and he's just been hitting, it seems like, every single shot. And that's it. The A bomb site falls way too quickly. Illuminar not even in position to attempt this retake. Lack of utility, especially the diffuse kits, is really hurting them right now, but even so, in a 4-on-2 like this one, the most optimal decision is to try and attempt that save, and that is exactly what Illuminar will do. SG.pro, however, starting to run away with this first half. 8 rounds have already been picked up. They have yet again forced rounds, but we're talking 9 and maybe even 10. That's again very scary for a team like Illuminar. Not picking up enough rounds on the CT side could be detrimental for them moving on to the second half. Though I will say this, of all the maps here in the map pool, I'd say Mirage is one of the more forgiving maps in that sense. Even if you have a bad run of form on one of the halves, you can still bounce back on the second one.
I've got to agree. Such an open-ended book here on a map like Mirage. I wouldn't be particularly too worried about Illuminar at this point. If they do get sort of 10-5, 11-4 again, might be maybe a cause for concern, but so far I'm not particularly too worried, although SG.pro again further handling the sort of eco partial investments very well. Already taking out majority of the site. A bomb site put into control innocent odds. And essentially, if Illuminar do not win the upcoming gun round here in this one, it's going to be 11-4 before the half finishes. So they've really got to turn things around here. It's got to be a victory coming up in this one. Be able to make sure the first half is not completely kicking them out of the map already. 9 on the board though. Rebuy to come for Illuminar, and more so a big opportunity to keep themselves here in not just the first half, but overall the game itself.
Oh, Illuminar, they're back with the purchase, all right. And they need to make this one work. It needs to go their way. In a world where they only pick up the 5 rounds, that is incredibly sad run of form. You want to see more out of a team like Illuminar. If they do get the 6, however, a very good chance for them to have an easier run of form. However, look at the pace coming in from Fame. That is so quick. However, no utilities being deployed means they have to check so many angles here, SG.pro, and that's really hurting them on the commitment. Finally, some of the nades and Molotovs do rain in, but I think it's a bit too late. DeRay now finds the one, but there's PHR from CT spawn. That is a victory here for Illuminar. SG.pro love the change of pace. However, that's the problem. When you're going for such a commitment, you have so many angles to check. At least pop the smokes as well. If the smoke grenades rain in just at the time you push on from Palace, the players don't have to check that many angles.
Could have definitely been a much smoother way of executing that bomb site, like you say. Illuminar just getting the opportunity to take out SG.pro the majority before they even got onto the bomb site there. That's a great way to begin, but SG.pro, I mean, the one reply straight away into middle. Senator taking out Innocent. Oh, Kisa getting the chance to close out Mouse. It feels like already the round has taken a turn. Becky, inside of window, does get away with the first, but it is Fame that, well, replies as quick as you'd like. Oh, Snacks, he does spot out the player in CT, but nothing that he can do about it right now. And I think Dire is somewhat aware of the position that he was taking right now. Doesn't matter because Fame will take out PHR already. Turn this into a 1 versus 4. And, ooh, Dire. There we go. Does spot out the final player there for Fame. 10-5 at the end of the first half. And, well, a very dominant T side from SG.pro, showing exactly what they're made of here on Mirage.
Oh, absolutely so. And the dissatisfying nature as well. The difference between one round can be so impactful. Like, in this instance, it's a 10-5 scoreline. For a team like Illuminar to bounce back, or at least to even up the scoreline, they'd have to win the first pistol round, the subsequent rounds that come after it, and also the first gun round in order to even things up. But if the scoreline is 9-6, then it's just a matter of winning the pistol, getting the subsequent rounds as well, and that's it. That's a 9-9 scoreline. If Illuminar would have gotten themselves the 6th one, it would have been an easier run of form here in the second one. But they have to play what they've got here, the 5 rounds it is. And like I said, you know, this is Mirage we're talking about, a map in which it's still possible to bounce back, even as difficult as it may be. The players here from Illuminar have called for a bit of a technical pause here. I do hope it's nothing too serious for the Illuminar boys and that we can continue on with the matchup.
Yeah, hopefully a little bit of a slight issue, let's say. Hopefully no issue at all would be the better outcome. But while we are in this sort of bit of a tech pause, does give us a great chance to, of course, promote the giveaways that are going on in the chat and on the stream, of course. Make sure you are checking out the Esports Millions broadcast and all the giveaways for everything. We have so much to give away. Gaming PCs, cash bets on unicorn.com, and of course the entrance into the €1 million prize fund giveaway pot for the Cups 3 and 4. So head over to @the-esports-bible on Twitter. Go and check out their pin tweet, or simply go to ukrn.io/esportsmillions. Well, this game really starting to get underway. Reminder, if you have just joined us, the loser of this series, they're out. They're out of the Swiss stage. They failed to make it through. They'll drop out in last place. Really start to face a very unfortunate wrath of, well, that's it for the tournament. Hopefully, neither of the, well, it'd be the dream, neither of these sides having to go through that, but one of them has to. And, well, right now it's SG.pro that are really looking like the solid side so far. I mean, they have played a very good T side as long as they translate that energy into CT side. The exactly very quick map potentially going toward the SG.pro boys, but Illuminar, we want to see what they can do here on their T side. They've got a lot to prove, especially with PHR. One thing that we haven't particularly seen Swiss stage at the moment is the same dominance that we saw from Illuminar in Cup 1 with Rollin. I mean, the difference is palpable. It's visible. We can tell that Illuminar are not feeling the same energy, not feeling the same vibe as when they played with Rollin. It seems like a completely different squad in terms of their fluidity.
In this situation in particular, Illuminar, I'm not even sure if at this point the biggest problem is the 5th player PHR. Surely he's not having the best run of form, correct, but you still have the core. Core is still very much the same core that managed to beat SG.pro a few months prior, or was it even a month prior ago, in a very convincing manner, 16-4, 16-1. This is not the same Illuminar. But I guess this is a case to be made about teams in general when, you know, you have this strong core of players, and then you have a 5th player slot in, and suddenly that 5th player can potentially make or break the roster. It could be the opportunity for them to reach new heights, but it could also set them back to the Stone Age. In this case, I think it's more of the latter one. And Illuminar, you know, it's a difficult situation that they have, that they cannot play with their player reads They have to keep on looking for these Polish stand-ins, and as well, because there are a lot of players in the Polish scene, there are also players that are, contracted to play on other teams. And so what they have gone for is, for inactive players like Rallen quite recently, and now they've gone for another inactive player in the form of PHR. So it is kind of dissatisfying, the situation they're in right now. But pistol round it is. Illuminar T-side, underpass push coming in.
Looking like so far this one. Seeming like a very handled situation by Illuminar. Oof. Oh, Kisa, okay. Gets away with the early kill already. Veggie will get a nice return, but they don't check the corner. It's so viable. And Kisa and Fame, they'll do the majority of the work. A simple pistol round for the side of SG.pro. And, well, back into the lead they go. And, oh, Illuminar. The one sort of golden rule of Counterstrike. Check your corners, especially that stairs angle. We've seen so many teams fall to that position now. It's got to be a common checked angle, but ignored. And rightly so, it's SG.pro that take the victory. 11-5, a force out of Illuminar, but it seems like SG.pro might be just fast-tracking themselves to a very quick first map.
Wow, what a deep smoke from the CTs, but will not be used, sadly enough. But now there's a lot of smokes coming in from the opposite end. The terrorists deploying the Molotovs, the smoke grenades, a lot of flashbangs now being used. Here we have the push coming in. DeRay still holds the line, not giving it up that easily. The Molotov does not touch him. Fame gets himself a few. DeRay chimes in with the third. And with that bomb being dropped, the round is coming to an abrupt end as SG.pro clean up aisle A.
So good. Very, very nice hit. Keeping things up as Illuminar will be heading into a full eco. 13-5 is confirmed. Illuminar at the moment, they are not looking in their sweet spot here. A real chance for SG.pro to really start to write home map number 1, get into train before they need to worry about the series. But Illuminar, maybe a chance of a bomb plant potentially, but again, the way they are setting up to what seems like a bit of a mid push with no utility. They've got Fame ready with an AUG. I think he might have just not spotted out Snacks there, unfortunately. But you can see Illuminar, they get full mid control. Kisa will find the early entry onto Snacks. And again, that should be pretty much how the majority of the round is going, really. Some extra damage here and there. Maybe a kill from Illuminar if they can overwhelm a single player, but that should not be on its way. Senator does have a great little position there, taking out 2 from that sort of range. They do lose 1, but it's an MP9. 13-5 confirmed. Illuminar, they must win the upcoming buy round, or else we're very quickly going to map point.
That's true, because now it is 13-5. SG.pro just a few rounds away from securing victory on the first one, and Illuminar, as we can see, they're putting a lot of faith in the gun round. If they do fail here, if they cannot succeed with this victory, then yeah, SG.pro just gonna be a little bit quicker here to end things on the very first map. Mid control, that's the name of the game here for Illuminar. They have even 4 players contesting top of mid, and now they're gonna get as close as possible to the connector area. Meanwhile, you have SG.pro clearing out the B apartments, and now they're gonna know there's not a single player there, but ooh, look at the awareness. A very good idea that a team like SG.pro might go for these sort of aggressive plays, and it's a very nice Molotov being deployed. But now Illuminar getting a nice kill here onto Keysan. Snacks has also sneak past through to get the kill on Senator. This is turning out to be very good for Illuminar. They finally recovered the bomb, and now they can pursue the site.
Oh, PHR, beautiful. Closes out D-Ray. Making sure that this round should be confirmed for Illuminar. Not right Fate out of the situation, though, considering that he does have an AUG in hand. It's a very random weapon, especially after the nerf, although... Aim. Nice idea. Tried to use the smoke, but read very well by Illuminar. They will find themselves round number 6. SG.pro, fortunately in their situation, plenty of money on roof fire. Fame DRA all able to purchase. A couple of drops required. AWP given out to Kisa. This is where SG.pro mean business. A little bit of a bonus round in the previous one, but now they are straight up for the full buy. As Illuminar will be looking to challenge for further rounds on this T side. It will be the B bomb site that they seem to look to do this at. 4 players committed, 1 up short already. Standard B side attack.
Oh, it is coming in. It is coming in hot. Illuminar entering the bomb site, but Senator Rufar, the crossfire is there. Vega responds. But as we do see, the players of Illuminar have been bogged down, but that's a problem. Kisa needs to get the frag here on the player. Rufar is the one to do so. And now they can focus fully on Veggie, who gets the kill on Rufar. That's one way to kick things off. He needs to find 2, however. That's a big problem for a player like Veggie. He pushes on through the smoke. Duray seems to be more than aware of a possible push through said smoke. And there we go. SG.pro secure 14 rounds and Illuminar have an unsuccessful B-side take, meaning that they lose the round and their economy is not in a great state.
Just look at players, yeah, like Innocent, like PHR, Mouse. They can, at least PHR and Mouse can actually get the sort of AKs purchased, but you look at Innocent, he'll be down to maybe a Galil, Deagle for utility. Yeah, it's going to be a Deagle instead. So this is a very unfortunate situation that they find themselves in. However, SG.pro going to go for a bit of early mid control, playing just a solo B-sided sort of endeavor here, and still that top mid presence. Well, Senator gets away with the first frag. Good control established, although underpass push will come through. Fame, however, just about stays alive in this position. We'll draft in Kisa for a little bit of support right now inside of that connector spot. No reason to overextend here on the side of SG.pro. They'll have their B defenses set up and ready. Fame, okay, with Rufire moving right underneath the window. They get Fame for the support as well, and Snacks. Oh, there's a kill. Doesn't expect to fire though, so falls to his death, down to a 3-on-2.
Oh, and it's a problem for a team like SG.pro. They just don't really have information of what's going on right now. Yes, there was the one push from Snacks, but players like Mouse and Innocent being so careful. Oh, but they've been spotted. And now the full-on rotation will commence. Kisa will be very quick to come in. Not going to deny the bomb plant just yet. Oh, Mouse with a great frag. And now Duray left in the 1v2. Good frag on Innocent. Now looking for Mouse. He's expecting him to be in this corner. And Duray, he's correct, but his aim is not precise enough, allowing a team like Illuminar to bounce back to get themselves the 7th. But again, it's still a long journey to go before they can even think of equalizing the score.
It will be SG.pro taking a bit of a force buy round, though money is up and down for the side. So Illuminar, by winning this one round, they do find themselves an opportunity to take a couple extra here. At least try and push this to 14-9 before we do see any fire back from SG.pro. But again, I'm not going to take away from a round like this. MP9's a scout in there as well to soften up the targets. Definitely not a sort of against this round paying off here, especially with what Illuminar do have to offer. It was a very expensive round, so some of their buys are very, on the same level as SG.pro right now. Mac 10s, Galil's, very little utility across the entire board. But it really comes down to these aim duels. Who can get there first? And well, there's a tag onto the first player. Kisa just about gets out alive. Softens up PHR. Turning Veggie down onto 70 as well. There is at least a tag here onto the first, although there we go. Snacks and Veggie coming out with some great kills. It's clean. Already closing out, down to Dire. And that should be 14-8 with an eco round on the way. It's a clean round from Illuminar.
Definitely something you want to see. Not necessarily because they need to get the money here for Illuminar. I mean, their backs are against the wall. Every single round that needs to go their way needs to be a victory. It's just the nature of it. So this is where potentially having the clean rounds isn't that important, but it's a great way to show that, you know what, we get a clean round here against a bit of a force buy from the side of SG.pro. We can get a clean eco, that can help you build some momentum, getting those easy eco frags and whatnot. Oh wow, bit of a commitment here. I think it's it's under ballot. That's pretty sick. That's still a setup here for SG.pro, but the problem is though, if there's a Molotov, that's it. All three players need to get out of that position ASAP, and there's no extinguisher to try and help them out.
Still the site being stacked, although SG.pro might be realizing. Oh wait. Fire. Oh, doesn't check the corner. He even looked like he was going to, actually. That he was sort of swinging left and right, but SG.pro hit to read into the site take from Illuminar a little wrong right now. It's going to be the A bomb site that they do go for an attack on. SG.pro triple stack in the B bomb site. They do have a player in CT to at least play for info, but again, not going to particularly do well endeavored here. Innocent getting out with a double, and that'll be 14-9. Illuminar at least making some very solid rounds out of this one before the rebuy of SG.pro, because that's where, again, it does start to get difficult. Illuminar are not out of the water yet. They've still got 4 or 5 rounds to go, at least 3 or 4 gun rounds to play against before they do get the scoreline tied at this point. So that is where things really do need to start taking a little bit of a shift for Illuminar, but it's the steps closer to at least making Mirage look a lot more competitive.
Yeah, it's nice to see the progress from a team like Illuminar in these few rounds. It's not much, but again, progress is progress, and they're getting there. Now, they can also win the gun round. That would be one way to secure double digits and potentially to make the scoreline a little bit close. It seems to be one of the great things for a team like Illuminar is that in the matchups, we also saw them play against Tiki Taka and against Crazy. There were the scorelines where they were down, 10-5, 11-4 and whatnot. I think on in Vertigo it might have been even 13-4 at one point. And yet Illuminar still have this quality of making the second half as close as possible. And here it's no different. Now they're finally stringing a few rounds together. In this gun round, if they can succeed, that'd be everything. Senator losing a bit of his health, but nothing of great significance. But Kisa changed things up. However, there's a smoke to block off his vision, so he will not secure an early frag just yet. And same goes for Illuminar. They're not finding any opportunities as of yet.
One thing that Illuminar can definitely play off of here is the lack of utility on the side of SG.pro. They've got a single smoke, 2 flashbangs to go off again, so the main brunt of this round is going to be SG.pro's pretty much raw aim battles here. They will realize the Molotov comes flying in, get away with at least life intact. Illuminar, great mid control. It's going to be an A-sided split coming out toward the bomb site here. Molotov down, smokes to be deployed. It's Illuminar that will go for the attack. Still, they've got a bit of a collateral lineup there. Still the damage being done, but it's a trade by Innocent. 4-on-4 for the site. It seems like SG.pro, considering their options, here is Innocent. Oof. 6 HP, but gets away with the kill onto Senator. That should force the save at this point.
Ooh, but they're not going for the bomb plant just yet. Snacks, however, in for the kill. And that really is it. DeRay has to save his weapon. The bomb set has fallen, and his teammates have fallen as well. Now, there is a potential for them to try and hunt down a player like DeRay, make sure the weapon is not saved, but as we can see, one way or the other, Illuminar will get themselves the 10 rounds in. SG.pro will have some economical turmoil to face. Now that's a chance. That's the one-way ticket for Illuminar to get back into this one. And like I said, they had these close second halves against teams like Tiki Taka against Crazy, but at the very end, they still didn't manage to pull through. Maybe this is where Illuminar have what it takes to still secure the win on Mirage. But before we see that, we still got to see some more rounds from them.
Scary part is it's still quite possible at this point. Making 4 rounds in a row here, and again, breaking the cycle. Will be a bit more of an eco round to come for SG.pro. So 14-11 is at least on the table. Chance even if they can keep preventing SG.pro's uprise to round number 15. There is a sweet opportunity that Illuminar might be able to snatch away. Like you say, a 16-14 as Tiki Taken did to them on Vertigo. This time, pretty standard site take coming out from Illuminar, it seems. A bit of mid-control orchestrated by Veggie, a player that we know can support himself solo, doesn't need to really have that sort of support network around him. Innocent already able to find the early frag, does lose his life to Dire, but fortunately so much damage done that the trades are simple. And there we have it. Clean up from Illuminar. Kisa does get away with at least a refrag. That smoke down in connector blocks his vision. Will take a lot out of Kisa to try and turn this into anything substantial. Might even be worth saving the AK, but more so wants to at least get away with some exit kills potentially. Has no Kevlar, so is already quite the risky position to play in, but 11 for Illuminar, 5 rounds in a row. They're starting to gain some sweet T-sided momentum.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. Illuminar, they're starting to string rounds together, something unseen of in the very first half. There we go. 11 will go their way. There's going to be a few more gun rounds to face before they can reach the magical number 14. This now shows us that Illuminar, they're not out of the woodwork just yet. They potentially have what it takes to still win a map like Mirage, as difficult as it may be. Veggie, love to see him fragging. 21 frags for him, that's great and all, but some of his other teammates could really potentially step up in terms of fragging potential, and this is something I'm only noticing just now. Fame, 30 bomb, and we're yet to witness the end of the first map. Jeez, Fame. You know, there were moments where you see, oh, Kisa picking up an amazing kill, Fame as well, but the fact that he's racked up 30, that's impressive.
The fact that neither of us realized either, that's the scary part. He's just been chipping away all game long, it seems. Kisa, beautiful headshot. Seems like all SG.pro needed to do was maybe orchestrate a little bit of aggression, send their AWP up to find the entry. He will come out successful on this occasion. Still, Illuminar, you need to try and turn this one back on its head. Try and get into more of a grouped up execution style round here, or else SG.pro will find easy pickings of these players. Minute left on the clock, still plenty of time. One thing they don't have is a 5-man setup. Seems like it will be a bit of an A-sided split. Maybe a bit of a fake, perhaps, if they can draw out the attention side of that A-bomb site. That seems like it already has been achieved. Kisa not aware of any potential pushes down towards middle. Now, oh, readjusts his vision. I think they might have spotted him, though. Yes, they do. Kisa dead. And now the A side under threat. They've got Fame behind the smoke, but it's Veggie that runs right through. Dire closes out PHR and the round falls on its knees. It's SG.pro that will guarantee 15.
15 rounds. Oh, it is. What an explosive way to end it as well. SG.pro cleaning things up. Now, Illuminar still have one more chance in this one. AWP back in the hands of Snacks. I can't say that he has found a lot of success here on the T side with the Big Green. It felt like Snacks was a bit more prominent on the CT side, finding those frags, shutting down bomb site takes, but not on the T side. I'd say he's having more difficulties here, more than anything. Mid control, name of the game for both teams, as both the CTs and Ts are trying to fight for some top mid presence. Innocent, though, has managed to sneak past through the AWP, but that's something Snacks can't be too proud of. He ends up dying way too quickly, and that puts Illuminar in a disadvantageous spot.
Really does, now that Veggie is tagged as well. Not the way you want to be going about business here. Fame, definitely aware of some sort of smoke play perhaps going on, and that's exactly what Innocent is doing. So much damage there by Fame. Innocent does at least return the trade, but still, Senator, how is he alive? Lucky to get out of that one with HP left to spare. The one thing he is mightily aware of is exactly what's going on, but Innocent, surprise, surprise. Now it's the chance for Illuminar to at least carry on the victory. Dire, though, taking out Veggie, makes it back to a 3-on-2, but oh, they've spotted the info. They know exactly what's up right now. Innocent, it's such a good attempt, but it's been read by the CT player, and he should just walk into his death here. That he does. Mao's in a 1v3, and I think the time is nigh on this map.
It feels like it's the end, as Miles will try to delay the inevitable for as long as he can. 20 seconds, though, once he begins to make his way into the bomb set itself. You can see that they're expecting him to be here. They've spotted him out. He's only at 6 points of health. He's going to fall shortly after, as it will be a victory for SG.pro. They managed to win their own map pick, 16-11.
Very solid first victory. Coming out with their own map pick, like you say, they at least guarantee their insurance policy, their safety in the series as they go on to train now. A map that we know they've lost heavily already against Illuminar. It was a while back. It was a different time. It was a different atmosphere. But we'll see if Illuminar can make history repeat itself. A 10-minute break and we'll be back into map number 2. It is train for Illuminar. Do not go anywhere.
streak right now. 4 rounds being picked up in a row. SG.pro will respond with an investment, but maybe there's a chance for a team like Illuminar to string a few more rounds together and finally get themselves a map win at the very least, because that's the thing as well. Best of threes they've lost against a team like Tiki-Taken, against a team like Crazy, they were all 2-0. Not a single map has gone the way of Illuminar, which is something you don't expect to see.
Seriously, for this sort of caliber of squad, I mean, I know they're having issues, but like not winning a single map is kind of terrifying. This time it seems like they might be in with a shot right now. Train is looking better than I think we've seen Illuminar look in a sweet minute here so far, but still have a little bit of a task at hand right here in this one. Down to a 3-on-3. PHR is somewhat isolated down Ivy. Snacks blocked off by the mollies. Chooses to elect a peek, but still loses the majority of his life because of it. Has to be very careful now. 8 over the top. Minimal damage taken. PHR, is he actually... Ooh, is he trying this? Well, Roof Fire dropping Snacks there. The flash is good, but no. He gives up the position down to a 3-on-2. And I believe they know at least where one of these players are, and now they know both of them. Kisa finishing the job. SG.pro tying the scoreline. At least keeping this T side active, and we know on a map like Train, 5-6 rounds or so is pretty much minimum expected rounds. SG.pro are nearly at that point to at least look like they've had an okay first half.
Yeah, I'd say with the 5 rounds being picked up, it's definitely an okay-ish scoreline. And the thing is, it's sort of the mid portion here of the first half, meaning there's a real possibility for SG.pro to get a few more in, especially considering their opponents will be on a bit of an eco. Senator, gotta be careful though, there's just USPs he has to face, but even he, a player of his caliber, could get overwhelmed quite easily. But so far, so good for SG.pro, not losing that much HP and not losing a single player thus far. They're going to continue on with the A-bombs. A commitment. There's only one player to face, and once he eliminates Innocent, that's it. The bomb side is there for the taking.
Nice and easy for SG.pro so far. Clean round as well, just to stabilize the economy a little bit more. Fame finishing the job. There we go. Side into the lead they go once again. Illuminar, they do have to keep up with this run of rounds, though, scarily. The way that Illuminar are currently setting themselves up, lose this round, and SG.pro a chance to win out on the first half already. Would be a very scary scenario, considering that the one thing we know about Illuminar is their CT sides have been pretty lackluster on the majority of maps that they've lost. Despite the double overtime with Crazy, they lost 10 rounds on the CT side. They gave up a very easy scenario. You look at SG.pro here. They lose the first man. You choose to group up, though. Bit of a redirect. It's another nade deployed. It's so much damage. Illuminar, for some reason, they've just got like a sixth sense on those nades for some reason, but this time, Mao's able to lose his life. Innocent does get a trade, make it 2. Nobody's shutting him down right now. Finally, they do, but it's already... Ooh, second, maybe not. I was going to say it's already a man disadvantage, but actually, they're able to turn it around for a second here. Back to a 2-on-2, but no, Veggie keeping the round alive.
Oh, Veggie again steps up when it matters most. Few good kills come in. Round win for Illuminar. 6-6 it is. There was a difficult state of economy for Illuminar not that long ago, and SG.pro potentially might be in the same boat if they lose the upcoming round. It's a very solid looking purchase in this one, in round number 13, but it can all be set astray if they fail here. But Illuminar, let's see how many more rounds can they pick up on the CD side of Train. Thus far, I mean, they've been looking quite solid indeed. Absolutely so. Definitely if you compared that to a map of Train. There have been a few more consecutive rounds that have gone the way of Illuminar. There were opportunities for them to make this one a bit more one-sided, but again, they're being plagued by some of the issues here in this roster. Snacks is going to make sure to negate said issues with his proficient aim, as he's now looking for the early engagement against Senator. Does whip the first shot, goes in for more, and SG.pro, they commence the side take with Senator's 2 opening frags.
Feels like the same scenario as when Crazy were entering the bomb site with Toxic yesterday. This time, luckily, Illuminar can counter frags and counter the aggression here as Dire sprayed those 25 bullets in the M4A1S clip, really starting to pay off there massively. And Illuminar looking like they should be able to turn the tides here. It's back to a 1v3. Fortunately, Kisa does have the bomb in hand, so he can move toward the B site, but he does have at least one player to deal with. That is Mouse on the back of the site. Player that has looked very competent here on a solo B-sided hold. It's actually very common at this sort of level to have a second man constantly on the B site, but Mouse has showed his proficiency at playing a solo hold. They spot out the final player. A simple, well, I say simple jump up. Does make life a little harder, but Mouse should be able to get it done. Veggie baiting the information there of Mouse. And 7-6 for Illuminar. They take the lead once again, but more so, they really start to apply pressure on that economy for SG.pro. It's got to be an eco for the final round.
Ooh, that's the satisfying nature for a team like SG.pro. Now that the first half is coming to an end, they need to make a difficult choice, and well, it will be just a bit of a partial investment, not full-on eco. They want to make sure that they still have a chance, even in a round like this. They are going to make sure to get as much money as possible to get that investment going in the last round, the first half. Maybe there's now the potential for Illuminar to actually edge it out in the half, which is something we haven't seen too often throughout the two best of threes they've played, and even in the former map of Mirage. Veggie, though, still holds the angle here. It's a bit of a ballsy move to make, but it does recover him just yet. Eliminates Roofard. Now the smoke's run in from SG.pro, and it is going to be a simple commitment here. Senator being softened up by the bullets. Veggie chimes in from Pop Dog. The players of SG.pro going for a bit of a wraparound here on the side itself, not going fully head-on. In fact, one player has sneak passed through the smoke. Maybe there's the potential for a player like Fame to... Nope, nothing.
Oh dear, he just gets so hard done by there. Thought he might have had a chance at the head of Veggie, but not this time. 8-6, Illuminar 4. For all intents and purposes, have at least won out the first half. Get away with a minimal victory, able to close out at least 8-7. We'll see what SG.pro bring to the final round of the first half at least. Leaderboard looking not too bad. Nobody having a really bad game, which is good to see. Mao's a little bit low, but again, SG.pro haven't really focused on the B bomb site unless it's been, yeah, the nade stacks or Innocent pretty much picking up 3 or 4 kills. So, bit of a solution there, but Illuminar, Kisa, oof, could have spotted the player top trains, didn't get much info from it. Aid inside of Pop Dog not doing a lot of damage, but it seems like SG.pro, whatever they seem to try at the moment, Illuminar are actually a step ahead. This is probably one of the best T-sides we've seen them play in 9-5 so far.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that notion. Illuminar, let's see if they get themselves the 9th as well. That would be, I guess you could say icing on the cake. Surely having a bit of an edge, moving on to the harder side of the map would be a nice little bonus for a team like Illuminar. SG.pro, gonna keep things rather simple. Another commitment here on the A-bomb side as they've been going for these time and time again, and here they successfully eliminate Innocent. Now the push can commence with a bit more confidence than usual, as now there's 3 more players to find on the side itself. Senator still looking around for the players here, doesn't win against Mouse. PHR wins against DeRay, and now SG.pro with the wraparound still though. Kisa gets the frag on Mouse, and now there's a chance for a bomb plant.
Oh, doesn't even need it. Fame will finish it onto Snacks, get away with the round itself. That will be at least an 8-7. Quite a convincing first half from SG.pro, actually. 7 rounds on the T side. Not a victory, but it's as close as it can be. The pistol round could be a real decider here in how the second half plays out, at least at the start.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Because with the pistol round victory, if you're SG.pro, that's great and all for you. You can then at least make the scoreline to 10 rounds. But I'd say it's a bit more important for a team like Illuminar that, for the most part, during the best of threes they played, they did struggle picking up the T-side rounds as well. So, if they get the pistol round their way, there's an opportunity for them to have a nice start here in the second half. And early on here, SG.pro putting a lot of emphasis on the A-side hole, which is standard business. But the player in the B-bomb side is playing this one incredibly far back.
The way that SG.pro are playing here is so reserved, so defensive. Waiting for Illuminar to make the first move and more so make the first mistake, let's say. And well, Kisa and Fame. The one thing that these CIS players seem so talented with is USPs. They're a deadly force to play against, and rightly so. Veggie pins her down. Kisa and Fame, they do it all themselves. They don't need no support. It's 8 and 8. A pistol round for SG.pro. It's those USPs for this squad that just look sublime every single time.
On the pistols? Absolutely. They just look so good when it comes to these pistols. And Mirage as well. It was basically a shutdown. Once we saw the Illuminar players trying to push through, I think it was, yeah, for underpass into connector. I mean, the players of SG.pro just absolutely destroyed them. There's no two-way street about it. Well, now, speaking of being destroyed, shotgun and SMG combo in brown halls. Nice stuff here for SG.pro. They managed to secure the first few frags, but instead of fighting, which, I mean, a lot of teams should do and probably would, they decided to back away and play it safe, and, well, patience is dividends. 8 to 9 is the scoreline. SG.pro don't lose a single player, and honestly, they'll keep the shotgun.
Love to see it. Issa, maybe we'll try and switch things up a little bit. Go into close pop dog, maybe try and be a little bit of a nuisance. That's what you love to see with an auto shotgun in this type of round against the AKs. So, oh, he's going to take a better angle, actually. He's going to go straight up ramp, try and see if he can take top pop dog control himself here. Might get an opportunity to strike against a player like Snacks, who's already top of the ladder. But again, either way, there's plenty of angles and opportunities on a map like Train for a weapon like this. Still, Fame. There we go. Gets away with the first. Roofire, good return. But again, it's Fame from the back of the site that's continuing to be such a nuisance. Kisa dead this time, but they won't expect Dire. He makes noise, but still gets away with the kill.
Oh. Goes on smoke grenade in a very awkward position, but shouldn't matter too much. Senator gets the frag. Innocent Mouse, however, responds. I think he's also aware of the last positioning of Fame. After all, he got those 2 kills at that very same spot Mouse is looking towards. Now with 50 seconds being on the clock, neither player can be 100% sure where the other guy is stationed at. So Mouse will be in a position to pick up the bomb, but it does look like Fame has a vision towards the bomb itself. Yeah, he does. And Mouse, is he aware of it? Yes, he is, and the taps line up.
Beautiful. Mao's getting the victory for Illuminar, making sure that SG.pro not be running away with any further rounds so far. I mean, luckily for the CT side, that was, let's say, a little bit of a bonus round in terms of they were playing an MP9, they were playing an auto shotgun, so they can go for the further reinvestment here. Kisa gets himself the AWP, so they now have the full buy to play with, whereas you look at the likes of Snacks, let's say, still rocking the Mac 10, so there's definitely some open-ended questions we can have here, and well, the flashbangs keeping every player blind, but it seems to benefit SG.pro. It's Kisa, I believe, through the smoke to close out Veggie, but it's a 5-on-3 so quickly. Kisa, that is a fast flick, and it seems like SG.pro, they ain't stopping for nobody on the CT side.
Oh, PHR. But frag and Fame, but the problem still remains. It's 2 players of Illuminar against the brute force of SG.pro, and well, how did it go with this one, Illuminar? Well, they can soften up Roofire. They can even get a kill on Kisa already then. Not out of this one just yet, and that's something SG.pro need to keep a close eye on. Do not allow the players of Illuminar to get back in this one. Because if there are individuals that can, it has to be Illuminar. And look at this right now. They're just looking towards the B-bomb side. And SG.pro don't have a single player on the side itself. So they're basically going to allow this one to happen and then attempt the retake with no defuse kits.
If Innocent can embed himself deep into this sort of CT base of the B-bomb site, that's where things do get tricky. PHR looking to at least spot the check. Innocent, there we go. PHR, beautiful. That's what you love to see. Great site defense from Illuminar. All it took was the first kill and the entire tower falls to its feet. Illuminar into the lead they go, breaking the bank of SG.pro, and more so starting to gather that lead on the T side. It's taken a sweet minute, but Illuminar, they are actually looking so much more confident and comfortable in their own maneuvers. They're able to take sites. They're able to win these 2-on-3s. That was something that even in the games yesterday and the day before that just didn't look possible. It had to be, snacks on the AWP finding a couple of kills, individuals like Veggie stepping up to the plate, but finally, we're seeing a more holistic approach from Illuminar.
Yeah, this is where Illuminar, I just find their footing here, especially winning a round like that earlier. 4v2 we're talking about. That's the type of round you should not be winning if you're Illuminar. But the fact of the matter is, they managed to do just that. Veggie, though, wow, gets absolutely wrecked here by Senator. Fame as well. Oh no! Illuminar, not like this.
Oh.
Senator with the frag as well. Another 2v4 takes place, and Illuminar, no way they're bouncing back from this one.
There is aware of potentially an Ivy or Hell rotate as well, and innocent information gathered. There we go. Good double. At least to return the kills and make the round somewhat more stable. 2 Desert Eagles to play against here, and Dire moving up the line. It's Innocent. That's what I'm saying. It's got to be these individuals that step up. Innocent gets the 4K, takes the round for Illuminar, just about keeps the site and the round safe in itself. SG.pro, there we go. They can go for the investment. It's a very scrappy buy round, but Illuminar starting to really establish a lead now.
Oh, but again, Illuminar, what a round to win. A 4v2 just like that with the snap of the fingers, and they get themselves the victory. Jeez. That's got to be frustrating for a team like SG.pro. I mean, they were so close on the win and still couldn't pull off. Here, this investment, I mean, it's lackluster at best. UMP9's a few FAMASas. They've already lost an important player in the form of Fame. This is not looking good whatsoever for a team like SG.pro and Snacks. Ooh, he's quick. But he's not going to check his corners. Big mistake. Centaur finds the first. Illuminar, this will prompt him to go for the push of the B-bomb site, but it is a swift rotation from Illuminar. They're getting all the forces here, but even though a lot of the utility has been deployed, they're going back on the B. Oh, actually, no, going back on the A side.
To have worked out here as well, actually. Players able to cross over safely. Senator tapping away at, well, pretty much thin air as no bullets connect to Illuminar here. Will make the re-rotate back onto the Ivy position. Here comes the meat shield, but Senator breaks it apart. Gets away with the double, keeping Illuminar now stranded. PHR and Mouse, they've got a very big task here. The fact that with 40 seconds on the clock, they have pretty much no site control. There's Mouse dead, and PHR left in the 1v4. This one, though, still gets away with a freebie onto Senator. Second onto Dire. Fortunately, it will end right there and then. Weapons collected by SG.pro, a victory in their back pocket, and more so, an unstable economy for Illuminar. Despite 3-round victories, they're broken here.
That's true, because the one thing you have to remember is that the way they've won those rounds, and those rounds were relatively close. I mean, it had been 2 or maybe 1 player surviving in most of them. But yes, Illuminar, they haven't really built up much of a bank, but I have to admit, even when I saw a player like PHR in that position, you know, the 1v4, once he gets those 2 kills, I'm thinking, is he actually pulling this one off? No way is he doing that. But I also remember that when it was the game against Crazy, when it was 15-14, out of the blue, PHR managed to pick up the ace, and he also managed to win a clutch, with being, whilst he was just on 3 points of health, and he one-tapped his opponents with the AK-47. So clearly, even though this guy has been inactive for some time, I mean, he's still got what it takes to win some crucial rounds for Illuminar, especially when it matters most.
What you love to see here from SG.pro, seeming to finally start to turn things around. Real opportunity right now to get themselves a tie of the scoreline, make train competitive. Also keep the chance. 2-0 still on the table. Clean round for SG.pro. Nice little victory. This is where Illuminar will start to face the pressure. They start to, again, give up these T-sided gun rounds. Train begins to slip from their grasp. It's Very, very close game so far. Much closer than Mirage, it seems, at the moment. SG.pro might just be picking up a little bit of pace at the worst time for Illuminar. It's a 5-man AK buy. But look at SG.pro themselves. They've got Kisa on a rifle, not playing the AWP. So I feel like this might be a best way for SG.pro to challenge here at this point. Kisa is a very aggro player when he does have a rifle to sort of wield, but Roofire and Fame. Flashbang was perfect. Get away with the first kill, but still innocent. Trading back a double, but a double that doesn't last for long.
Oh, and they're aware of Snax's push as well. DeRay, very good positioning at the end. And Kisa as well, the most impactful player I'd say in that round. Even though the first few kills go in favor of SG.pro, that's great and all, but the fact that Kisa is not only able to eliminate the flank here from Innocent, but also PHR on top of the train, that's massive. And well, with such a round win, look at this, Illuminar, no bomb plant, meaning no extra money at their deposits. Partial investment needs to take place. They got the Deagles out, some players in armor, and that's about it. SG.pro, great opportunity as any to get themselves 13. Snax, though, I was just gonna push out here. Of course he is. It's Snax we're talking about.
Of course. Fame, easy frag to find. Keys are the same as well, as he is now back on the AWP. Like SG.pro will begin to take nice little lead here. Veggie, beautiful shot. Here a left stranded. Kisa does get returned as well. Now a couple of weapons that can be collected. You do not want to be giving them an AWP here as PHR finds Fame. Do not tell me this is a round that SG.pro falter on. They cannot afford to lose a scenario like this. Roofire, you like the idea. Inside of the smoke he goes. PHR taking away one. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, missed shot by Mouse, luckily. Okay. Still alive. Catches the one. Does have the defuse kit, though. That might be enough time. The Molotov. No, it burns him. Illuminar. That's a round that they had to win, and well, they do.
Oh my, oh my. Oh my, Illuminar. No way in hell did he win a round like that, but here they do. And I mean, it's unbelievable as well, considering, you know, Veggie, he does go down here. You're thinking, right, I mean, this is not looking good whatsoever, but then out of the blue, Mouse just wins an incredible aim duel on one of the players. Then you have the push as well. Oh, beautiful scenes, but that's a nice nade stack. Snax losing so much HP and all of that, and doesn't move an inch. On the other hand, sees the head of Snax, and maybe SG.pro will return but around in their favor. Look at this, Fame, Senator, everyone stepping up, but Innocent, though, he's got something to say about this, and he gets himself, he's gonna get himself the third as well, but no, not in this reality.
Maybe it was all part of an elaborate plan for SG.pro. They break Illuminar's economy once again. They force them into a very big predicament here. Innocent looked like he might have actually been able to do something there with that round if he'd taken out the AWP, but well, you can see at this point Snax on the hero AWP purchase, but likelihood is that it's SG.pro on their way to round number 14 and really starting to reapply the pressures. Kisa, though, quick frag for Snax. That should be a fast play to the B bomb site. They know that this site is a weakness. They should look to abuse that.
Oh my goodness. Double up setup on the T side of trade, where Illuminar have barely anything to work with apart from the two ops. And that's the thing, it can work. It can absolutely work in their favor. And they can play this one as slow as they want. That's the thing. They can slow things down to a crawl if they have to. They're just going to make sure that the operas will be in a prime position to acquire the frags right now. That's what they're doing. Snax clears out the angle. He gives information. Okay, plays with pistols, you can move in. Then he's going to clear out another angle, and the pistol players will get as close as possible to the side itself. PHR. Good frag here on Fame. Veggie losing a bit of his HP, but Roofire, though, Has to be careful. Remember, there's 2 ops to face. Senator finds the first, but now Rootfire needs to hold the site. Ooh, deals the damage, but not the kill on PHR. And now DeRay does respond with 1, but there's 2 ops to face.
One situation where this might actually look workable for Deary. Double AWP. On the after plant, it's going to have to take a good position, but I think Mouse has one. He'll hold the line. He'll get the frag. Mouse, there we go. 13 for Illuminar. Back-to-back victories on the board. And you can see what effect it has on SG.pro. Money is gone. And the chance for Illuminar to pretty much, at this point, either guarantee a full eco round and a simple 14th victory, or even a chance at 15 if SG.pro take the force buy.
Oh, yeah. If you're SG.pro, take that timeout, please. Difficult right now for them. I mean, the pressure, there's a lot of it. They're in a prime position to still try and close things out. Sure, considering there's just a few round difference between them and number 16. The problem is, though, here, there's barely any money to work with. The double eco could potentially work out, but imagine they go for the double eco and then their opponents are sitting comfortably on 15. What will they do? Maybe a force buy, considering SG.pro caliber. Actually, no, they're just gonna eco this one out. Okay, that's something I did not expect to witness from SG.pro.
Yeah, really, me neither. I was expecting sort of a full commit buy, balls to the wall kind of play there, but like that this time is not going to be the case. I think Illuminar have actually worked out as well that it is a full A-sided stack with the way they're playing. Treating back, Snacks understanding the information here, but Illuminar trying to play the psychological game, psych out SG.pro for a B-side rotate, while meanwhile, rest of Illuminar are just down onto the A bomb site, waiting for a bit of a chance to strike. It's Ivy control that will be taken very easily. Smokes over the top, or at least a flashbang to be deployed. Illuminar. One thing that they can guarantee here, we'll be walking into a free A bomb site. Pop Dog smoked. Flashbang over the top. Soon realize site is completely barren. Will be a very simple 14th round for Illuminar and a one step closer to victory here in this second map.
Going to allow Illuminar to reach 15.
Very interesting decision. They're playing for the longevity of the game itself. They're playing to get into overtime here, but Illuminar, I mean, they'll be gifted with a pretty much free 30th round here. Sorry, a chance to hit the 30th round, let's say. With this one, we'll start to really change the pace right now. It's 14 to 13. Kevlar a single piece by SG.pro. It's down to maybe just getting lucky with these pistols to win the round.
Oh boy. This is just difficult for a team like SG.pro right now. They have some of those upgraded pistols to work with, and they have shown proficiency in them in the past. Oh, innocent though. In the initial shot, but it's interesting that of all the rounds, this is the one where they opt to go for that double op setup on the T side. I guess they're expecting the investment from SG.pro, but they themselves would be very surprised to note that, wait a minute, they're actually playing just on pistols. Flashes and the smokes now being thrown over to the B bomb side, but with Kisa being eliminated, DeRay will follow shortly after. It is Illuminar taking over the B bomb side and taking the round win. What SG.pro could definitely use right now is, a weapon here or there, but they're not going to find anything. And like I said, Illuminar will now be on 15 rounds.
A free chance here for Senator to maybe get an AWP. Innocent is holding down the back line and not yet aware of Senator's position. But neither Senator for Innocent. The one thing that, like you say, we can guarantee here is that Illuminar will be on their way to match points right now. 15 confirmed. 2 rounds in a row required for SG.pro if they wish to take this game into overtime. 1 round victory out of Illuminar does mean that we guarantee that we do see Nuke here in this one. There is a sweet chance. Finally, Illuminar, for the first time in the entire Swiss stage, will take us to a map number 3. Double AWP is what they've got to deal with. Senator and Kisa bringing out the snipers. Illuminar will be looking to make what is 16 to 13. If it goes any closer, maybe that's where the composure of Illuminar might be an issue. The one thing that we saw from Illuminar in the previous series was the fact that, you know, with this roster issue that they might have, it's closure of games that seemed an issue. The overtime against Crazy, the 16-14 against Tiki Tak, and there's plenty of instances here, but might be not one of them. Mouse, great entry onto Fame.
Last way to kick things off for Illuminar, not so much for SG.pro though. Kisa, as well, this is not a great angle to be holding, at least for a lengthier period of time, because there could be pressure coming in from Pop Dog, and he's not going to be 100% aware of it. Now, of course, he's in a good position to at least eliminate the player on T-Con. Kisa. There are players coming in from T-Connector, and is he ready? Oh no, the timing is awful. Now there's the players coming in. He does back away swiftly enough, but there's the incoming push from Illuminar. Kisa, how does he survive for as long as he does? I don't know, but it does go down eventually. Illuminar now having a successful commitment on the bomb site itself, and the bomb plant should be coming in swiftly.
Ray does at least get away with 1, but it's down to a 3-on-2. Senator, his position, we're not expected to catch Veggie in this sort of angle there, as now here comes the frag Dire. Down to the 1v3, not going to make it possible. Illuminar taking us to map number 3. We will see Nuke here in this series. It's going to go the distance. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back after a short break. It is Nuke on the way for the 3rd and final of this first elimination game in the Swiss bracket.
Initialize booting. These are your targets. You must find, capture and contain them until extraction vehicle arrives. Witnesses are irrelevant. Leave them unharmed if you can. End of a transmission.
Illuminar here on Nuke. Third map of the series. A chance for Illuminar to maybe try and win their first best of 3 of the Swiss stage. It comes down to a map that both of these teams play. It really depends on who's more proficient on the day.
And I'd say so that Illuminar, they probably have their best chance yet to try and win the best of 3 with this third map, because now we're on Nuke, a map they've played so much in this level of CS, and they've got loads of experience on it as well, whereas a team like SG.pro, they played it a few times, 6 times being more precise, and of the 6 times, they only won once against the UK team Orglis, so that is not a great run of form here for SG.pro, but we'll have to wait and see what they can come up with here in the T side. Early on, some nade usage, but our players already moving up the heavens. Senator, great way to kick things off here with a frag on Innocent. And now, there's a few players from Illuminar that are making the transition over to Hell. And does look like the wrapper on the A-bomb set is the main plan for SG.
And likely here is... Ooh, Mouse does manage to catch the head of Kisa at least. Roofire taking a couple of tags, but it's Fame able to close out Snacks. Roofire dealing with the flanks. Ensuring that the site seems to be safe here. The one thing right now that side of SG.pro do look incredibly good on is their pistol rounds. Again, showing exactly that. Dire closing out PHR, leaving Mouse in the 1 versus 4. Seems like once again, will be SG.pro getting off to a great start thanks to a very convincing pistol round.
Yeah, if there's something SG.pro is really capable of doing is just winning these pistols. I don't know what it is, but it feels like every single time the pistol round comes up, they're just going to win it. Every single time, it feels like. And especially the ones on the CT side, I think they have now a 100% win rate when it comes down to winning CT pistol rounds in this best of 3. They won them on both maps, Mirage and Train, and I wonder if they can do it as well in a map like Nuke. But before we can talk about that second half, let's still see how the first one takes hold. Look at this, Illuminar straight up with the investment here, and oh boy, they need to check the silos ASAP here. Illuminar only get the 1 kill, however, so it's nothing of great significance. And I'd say with the bomb set falling so quickly, you were probably better off saving the weapons to your Mouse, though. Lingering, that's the Tagger and Roofire, not enough to get that kill. And SG.pro, with a successful bomb set take such as this, that's it. They won the round.
I think so far. SG.pro looking nice and quick off the mark. And yeah, pistols, like you say, just had a little bit of a check. They are 5-5 out of pistols so far. They won both on Mirage, both on Train, and the first here on Nuke. So a very proficient pistol side, it seems. Continuing to prove that throughout the day so far. Illuminar, though, like you say, a couple of saves to come through, but more so it is an eco round on the way for the next. Meaning that SG.pro should be getting a 3-0 start here. At least on this T side, racking up a couple of early rounds, ensuring that they won't be completely thrown off guard so far. And like you mentioned, the proficiency of Illuminar on this map, it's one that they've had in their wheelhouse for a very long time. Played it back in even the days of Oscarish and Stomp in this lineup, back when they had Mono and such. So it's a map that they have played for an incredibly long time. Map as well that Illuminar have sort of had their ups and downs on, but they seem to have found a real sweet spot here. But it's whether or not they can keep that up, especially with the issues that we know they've had in terms of the 5-man collaboration lineup here. But still, out onto Snaps, this time not particularly tagging anybody up, really. Dire able to rush in for the damage, see if they can take him out. Doesn't actually spot him in the corner, scarily enough, so Snax might get a chance. Maybe a free frag here, but he is the final man. There we go. Dire cleaning it up. 3-0 start for SG.pro, but a first buy round on the way for Illuminar.
Nice. There we go. The 3-0 start is going to be there here for a team of SG.pro. But now, this is the real task ahead of them. Illuminar, CT side gun round, and already they'll be in the hands of Snacks. The other players are looking very solid indeed in terms of weaponry. See if they can keep it up. One thing I will also say about a player like PHR here, I believe one of the instances that we've seen Illuminar play on this map I mean, out of nowhere, like PHR as well. So good on that C defensive, but Snacks though, very nice way to open things up with the second kill as well. It's really the satisfying start here for SG.pro. They're still going down secret. Of course, they've been spotted, but Illuminar have a substantial edge heading into this round. And now Viggy, all it has to do, wait for the two players to appear in his crosshairs and at least get the one. If he gets the one, job well done.
All about timing. Oh, Kisa. Beautiful. Back to a 3-on-3. This round is definitely now open for debate, but Mouse luckily able to take out one, make it a second as well. There we go. Bomb is down. Brewfire has to abandon all hope here at this point. There is a upgrade weapon, let's say, but it's not an AK. And he'll walk right into the crosshairs of Snacks. First round on the board. Illuminar kicking things off exactly as you would like to see. Getting that first victory without really faltering in terms of losing anything massive. They didn't drop the AWP. They keep the economy. All is good so far in the Illuminar camp. SG.pro back onto the rebuy, however. They'll be going straight for that full investment. AWP out for Kisa. Plenty of utility equipped with those rifles. See what sort of change they can make, but oh, they're about to play a straight outside setup there for a second. They are just boosting Kisa up for an angle. I was going to say, it's probably not the best of ideas to rinse and repeat that setup with how good Snacks made it in the previous, and, well, that they will not do. Although, look at Snacks. The confidence seems to be with him today. He's going to go aggro for a peek, see what he can find in terms of info.
Let's see, though. Snacks holds the line, not giving it up that easily here in the hut. Should be at least good for the one. Ooh, only gets the tag on Rufire, oddly enough. Could have sworn that should have been a kill for Snacks, but it is what it is. A tag is still good enough. As the remaining players do make their way down secret, slowly but surely this time around, they deploy a different set of smokes to make sure no one on the CD side will have any vision, but Snacks, though. Thought it might go down secret or the AWP, but now it's Lonesome PHR to try and hold on to this position. But SG.pro, not 100% sure what's their final destination. And this frag, Innocent, though, what a great flashbang. Drake finds his, and now at 40 seconds, they have full outside control, and now you have a player like Snacks and Veggie going down. That leaves the A bomb site open up here for SG.pro, and Mouse, alongside PHR, already in full retreat. But as I say that, a few good kills go their way, and the low HP players will still manage to win this round.
Very nice from SG.pro, keeping the round in their favor so far, at least. PHR has no defuse kit, so retake is not going to be a viable option. Just seeing as well here, Veggie and Innocent yet to get a kill on the board so far to kickstart the CT side. That's a bit of a rough beginning here at the moment. That will see Illuminar 4-1 down. Economy is not stable in the slightest. Of course, they are a CT side, so keeping up with buy rounds is a difficult task, to say the least. And well, fortunately, down onto an eco. Seems like we have a little bit of a disconnect here, though, from Innocent. Hopefully, nothing too major, but a tech pause needing to be called. A good time to do it. SG.pro, with the momentum they're gathering, I'm not saying it's a warranted tech pause, but it just keeps Illuminar at least in the best frame of mind. Seems like only a CS crash, so it's nothing major in terms of internet or anything. But SG.pro facing an eco round to come, a chance to make it 5-1 already and start looking like the T side is going to be quite profitable for them. 5 out of the 6 rounds played would be, well, 7 rounds played, let's say, would be pretty much perfect as a way to start a map like Nuke.
Yeah, I'd say so as well, because Illuminar, again, they're not in a position to reinvest in this one, so the potential is there for SG to pick up the 5th round. They might start to run away with this one earlier than could have achieved in a map like Train. Because I will say this, though, in a map like Train, Illuminar still managed to hold on to their positions for as long as possible.
Side does need to really turn up and give a good performance on a map like Nuke. SG.pro do start to again turn things in their favor, start to pick up some great T-side rounds, it's going to be very difficult for them. I mean, you look at Nuke and the one time, like you say, the fact that they won it 16-7 over a squad like August doesn't particularly scream and shout too much in terms of they've beaten a high caliber squad, let's say. But the one thing we could take away was that they had a very good CT side. It was like 12-3, I believe, the only victory they've gotten. But I mean, look at that, and it's outweighed by a 16-2 by LDLC, a 16-8 by a side like a Zacho Boars or LDLC again most recently. That's where things definitely do take a turn for the worst here, but good handling of the eco round. SG.pro will be guaranteeing round number 5, even with a little bit of difficulty in there. A nice frag onto Roof Fire, but not that it should be changing the round itself. This will be SG.pro most likely on their way to round number 5, and already guaranteeing that at least they've got somewhat of a minimum barrier set, just in case Illuminar do pick up the pace.
I really hope that they can do so. Illuminar, I mean, Snacks has been stellar when it came down holding the outside area, so I want to see him do something of a similar note again. Maybe with the back of Innocent, that potentially could be done. But in this round, of course, it's just impossible for Gallic Vega to try and win this one. He could try to get a kill, though that would be quite nice, but even so will not go his way. 5-1 it is. The early start here and the early lead for SG.pro. Maybe a chance for a timeout for Illuminar, but nothing of the sort. Of course, AWP back in the hands of Snacks. Wouldn't have it any other way, but I want to see Illuminar try and contest out to control a little bit more than what they've done in the past, you know. I saw Snacks abuse a gap in the smoke beforehand, but now you can see that if SG.pro will keep on deploying the deeper smokes than usual, Illuminar will have a difficult time trying to contest that area of the map. Early nade there in the outside area, but apart from that, doesn't really look like anyone's keeping truly a close eye in that position.
Yeah, it seems like SG.pro will be gathering more so inside of that main angle here as Veggie, a little bit of a whiff spray, only gets away with the 1 kill. Innocent trades, gets his first frag of the game, but still the advantage does lie with the SG.pro side for now. So, he might have spotted Snacks in the drop down. It's going to make life a little bit more difficult if he did. And Snacks, is he going walking through the smoke? Well, he might be, but Sinitor's already in the back lines, guarantees a 1v3. Good return, at least for the first, but a great pounce by Fame. A gun round denied by SG.pro. Round number 6 achieved, and Illuminar seeming like they're in a more and more difficult spot after each passing round. It is not getting easier for them, the pressure being applied by SG.pro.
I mean, the one thing, at least on the T side, is that if you're a team like Illuminar, say, this situation, you can keep on investing. If you get a bomb plant, there we go, maximum lose money bonus, you can still get the weapons out. But here, on the CD side, it's a little bit different. It's definitely a different scenario, and here, it's a different game. Selecta versus Navi Jr. also going to a third map here, it looks like. And here in Inferno, I believe the second map actually was a pretty convincing win by Navi Jr. 16-4, something of that note. And I think it was Select actually winning the first map 16-13. So the fact that it comes down to a map like Inferno, I mean, definitely expect a close game between the two, of course, as well, CIS teams and Inferno.
Always a close affair there.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. Interesting roster selector. Haven't had the opportunity to sort of follow their games as of yet in terms of seeing what they're like on the server, but they look like a very interesting roster. Edward at the sort of crown of the table, let's say. Blacho in there as well, a very, as we know, sporadic aim, powerful player. See what they can do throughout the bracket, but yeah, back to this one. Game is back live this time. Illuminar. Will Eco to come? SG.pro looking like they will already be guaranteeing themselves at least 7 rounds and making the T side look very profitable right out of the gate. I think the one thing that we can take away from SG.pro is their sort of tendency to start the maps very convincingly. They can easily rack up like 5, 6, 7 rounds before an opponent can read into their plays and their style of taking these bomb sites, and that's the one thing that might just guarantee them a little bit more safety on a map like Nuke. 7 rounds already gathered on the T side. PHR, such an awkward spot. Rooffire takes him out already. convincingly shutting down the round. It will be 7-1. These pistols not doing too much for Illuminar. Maybe just save up the Kevlar. But it's SG.pro that actually are starting to look like a very convincing side.
Yeah, that's something I didn't really expect to see them on a map like Nuke. Surely, you know, doing the first few rounds, fair enough, that's reasonable, but also picking up the first few gun rounds as well. Okay, now that definitely shows me that SG.pro are out here to fight. But 7 rounds already, like, that is pretty significant. You know, getting 7 rounds in total is a pretty good scoreline, but the fact is their opponents have only picked up just the one. It goes to show that Illuminar are having a very difficult run of form here on Nuke, and this is also the map. Once I saw this third map being played out, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, Illuminar, this is their best bet to still stay alive here at the second iteration of 9-5. But now, every single round going in favor of SG.pro, those hopes and those chances are dwindling here for the Poles.
They are here. They've got to start turning these gun rounds on their heads here, or else Pro going to keep racking up the scoreline here. It's no AWP for Snacks. They are just down onto his default rifle play, and I mean, look at this roof fire burning, but it's worth it for the refrags as Fame able to close out PHR. The molly is good, but it doesn't reach Fame, actually. Not burning him at the feet, and he's allowed to sit inside of that vent position. Snacks already being challenged through the smoke. You realize now that surely Fame has to be on this corner, but he's holding an off angle. He's going to wait for the approach from his players inside of Heaven. They've got some utility to play with, but SG.pro have the positions. Smoke down, block off the vents, so block off the squeaky door, but Snacks damage done. The flash was great, and it isolates Innocent. Kisa wrapping it up, and it's another gun round for SG.pro. They are not slowing down at all.
Oh, none whatsoever. And I think that's a very key word you used there, not slowing down. It's because SG.pro, when you look at it, they're playing very fast, yes. I mean, early on, they've gone towards the B bomb site, and the one round they lost was on the back of a B bomb site commitment from Secret. But ever since then, it's just been the A side. A side time and time again, having a few players coming in from the orange door, from Squeak, and from Hut. There we go, successful split on the bomb side. Then splitting things up through Mini as well as Hut, another successful hit. But here though, Snacks gets caught out. This is one of the things I wanted to see Snacks try and attempt, but I wanted to see him with an AWP, not just the M41S. Oh, that's a dissatisfying start.
A rough one to begin. SG.pro default out of the outside position, not wanting to take secret control though. Not this time. It's going to be up towards Heaven for them here. The way that Illuminar are playing, they are thinking it's going to be a little bit more of a B site take perhaps, so with the way that it's going so far. And right now, Senator, there's the info spot, but can't find the kills. That's perfect for Illuminar. Back to a 4-on-2. Kisa does have the angle. Takes out Veggie. Timing will be impeccable for Innocent, though. Just about makes it out of the crosshairs of him. 35 seconds on the clock. 2v3. Definitely doable, even with Kisa tagged. AWP does not need full health, although the scoped crosshair might just deny him. No, Innocent doesn't want to elect to push just yet. Luckily, Kisa is watching the alternate angles. They can get out onto the A side for now, but Innocent, his timing so far has been impeccable. Kisa, though, will lose his life, and the same for Dire. Illuminar get themselves a second. A lot of slow parts having to fall into place there, but it is a round victory nevertheless for the CT side.
Very good to see Illuminar still be in a position to win some of these rounds. Even though early on, I see the push from Snacks, and I'm thinking, You know, it's definitely one of those instances where Snacks gets frustrated, and we've seen them in the past as well, where, you know, Snacks decides to take matters into his own hands. He goes for the early push, and, you know, in this instance, at least it was a 4v4, but if Snacks ends up dying without giving any sort of advantage for the CTs, or at least evening things up, then again, it's a worthless push. If he had someone to back him up, maybe it's a much better early on stage for a team like Illuminar, but nonetheless, managed to secure themselves that second round, and that's what matters most. What also matters quite a bit is to try and get a few more rounds in for Illuminar currently. SG.pro have secured, you know, the victory here in the first half. Now the question remains, how many more rounds can Illuminar acquire?
Way that SG.pro can really turn the tides here. It's going to be a tough battle, but I agree. They really need to turn this around now rather than later. Rounds are already looking very limited here on the CT side. Bro, one thing they realize is that their A-side execution might be a key to success, although looking like maybe a little bit of a fake here out of Bro. Yeah, that seems exactly the case. Outside smokes very late into the round. Usually a telltale sign that it is a fake. This should be readable by Illuminar scarily. With outside smokes thrown that late into the round, you've got to know that something fishy is going on, and well, through the door they go, but this time it's Senator and Fame that take away two. Snacks with a good reply, but again, Innocent caught off guard. They isolate Snacks and pick him off. Down to a 1v3, and it's Mouse on the hell position that has a lot to do. 3 low players, but still a massive task at hand.
Ooh. This is so frustrating. Illuminar thought this might be their way to bounce back, but no. Time and time again, Illuminar has such a difficult time getting these consecutive rounds in. It's unbelievable how they just are incapable of winning more than just the one round. Well, Mouse is at least in a position to save the AWP unless... No. Not gonna go in for the Ninja Defuse. It's just too much at this point. Very little time remaining as well. And SG.pro, just in case, you know, keeping an eye on such a play, we'll put SG.pro on 9. 9 rounds being acquired on the T side of Nuke. Again, this is just a stellar run of form. And the big problem still remains from Illuminar. There's a lack of weaponry, but instead of going for the save here, they will go for the purchase. They have just enough to get the weapons out, spread out the wealth. That purchase, it's going to be alright. Remember, they still have an AWP in the hands of Snacks, which is quite important. And he is heading over towards what seems to be the heavens, though. Thought I might see him in the outside area, but not the case. It doesn't look like anyone from Illuminar will try to contest that area of the map, whereas Snacks has been very comfortable at pushing Hut with the AWP, which is something you don't get to see from an Opera too often. It is so close quarters engagements, and well, Kisa on the other side, just ready and waiting for such a play from Snacks. He's reading this so well.
Oh, Kisa, there we go, gets a freebie. Won't expect Veggie most likely, and there we go, the trade does come through. Veggie finds a double PHR for the support. All they needed to do was stack a second man in Hut. They get some free trades. Oh, Innocent, though, might need to be careful. There's the trade, but Veggie again, during the round, should be going in their favor. It is down to a 1v3. Into the vents they go. Senator realizing that he drops down and reveals his position. No bomb in his hands, so not really too much that he can do in terms of damage or in terms of getting a bomb plant down. As far as I'm aware, Veggie is pretty much sat like a penguin on an egg with that bomb, so I doubt that he's going to be getting it back anytime soon. With 35 on the clock, most likely as much damage as he can find, but PHR to finish the round. 9-3. Illuminar getting away with at least an extra round here. The money not faltering at all for SG.pro. And it's Illuminar that really needs to get consistent. They're still not safe in terms of cash. And with a real chance of SG.pro wrapping up not just double digits, but pressuring for further rounds, they've at least got to close out an extra one for safety.
I agree in that sense. But even so, Illuminar, I mean, they've shown the possibility of picking up that round. That's great and all. The setup works out very well, all things considering. But can he win this round as well? Well, it's a great start. Snacks gets the frag here in Kisa. Oh, tries to go for the headshot kill as well. That is so difficult with a scout weapon. And well, Innocent though. The other side of the map gets a kill in Rootfire. Maybe. will actually light the fire under the of Illuminar. They will finally go out there, have the individuals go for the engagements, and so far so good until Senator gets a frag on PHR. Those Snacks still keeping a close eye here and will get the frag here. Fake. He is constantly changing things up, but now he swings out too wide, allowing DeRay to get the frag in one, and now Senator eliminates Innocent. Oh no, not like this, Illuminar.
This time, get away with the 2v1 in their favor. DeRay will be able to at least put a bomb down, though. Force out the time here for Illuminar. Great Molotov to buy him a few extra seconds. Oh, uses the gap in the door. Beautiful by Veggie. Baited DeRay into a swing. Gets away with the round itself. That will be 9-4. Illuminar starting to slowly make an uprising. It's a bit of a task. It's definitely going to be a struggle. But there are options available here. They have 2 final rounds to play. Now, SG.pro do have the economy to pretty much make it through both of them on at least half of their players. Fame actually dropping out an AWP, so he will be spending a little bit extra here. With round loss bonus generating and the money they've got in the reserve, they'll at least be safe for round number 15. The Illuminar, that if they want to get out with at least 6 rounds, need to win 2 very tough rounds in a row against SG.pro's full buys.
That's really what it takes right now for Illuminar to win the 2 rounds in a row, and at least there's 6. It's not a lot, but it can still work for a team like Illuminar. Right now, though, there's the smoke wall now, finally being deployed yet again from SG.pro. Last round, they didn't throw them out, and it allowed a player like Snacks to actually have a lot of presence in the outside with that AWP of his. Now he has to change things up entirely. He's out here in the ramp position, but Rufar, he has actually sneaked his way through. Squeak, it's great and all, but you have Innocent securing the frag on Fame. The players of SG.pro will begin to commit to the side itself, but this is a bit of a tricky scenario. Now you have the players of Illuminar going for a very big flank here in spawn, and with Snacks getting the clean on Senator, SG.pro will have a very difficult time on the hold.
What you love to see right now from Illuminar, very convincing here on the retake. Clean round so far, and it feels like it should be all the way through. Snacks making sure that it is. Getting themselves 9-5. What a way to make a living. Illuminar slowly getting back into this one. It's a grind, but it's a grind they're willing to make. Final round of the first half. Bomb plant giving SG.pro just that little bit of extra cash. With no AWP on Kisa, I would love to see a straight-up execution. That A bomb site take looked great. If they can repeat something like that, then there's maybe a chance of success. But my faith, at least, is slightly restored with Illuminar now that they've made some sort of endeavor on the CT side.
I think it's time to believe. I definitely think it's now time to believe in Illuminar and their capability of getting that 6th round in. And never so slightly opportunity for Snacks to maybe get a frag, but no, it's going to be Veggie to pop out here from Hunt and to eliminate Rufar. Interestingly enough, that this has been the one area of the map where some of the past engagements have occurred. The opening duel is, to be more precise. Not ramp, not outside, but speaking of ramp as well, has there even been a round that SG.pro actually decided to hit the B-bomb side for ramp? Yeah, I don't think there was. It's been primarily just the A-bomb side, time and time again. And now Fame, even securing the frag and PHR, it is back to basics, and it's back to their good old endeavor to the A-bomb site. Though Mouse gets himself too. That really shuts down the round, but Fame, gets the frag and Mouse. The big problem for a player like Fame right now is it has no idea where Innocent is playing at. He is yet to reveal himself, and here Innocent can play the long game. And I think if the doors are open for him, there's a very good chance he might win this one. Yeah, exactly that. The doors are open. Fame, though, is not ready for it. And it will be the 6 rounds here for Illuminar. I'd say the bare minimum, but at least they got it.
Beautiful. Illuminar, at least, like you say, making sure that the game itself does not fully fallen flat on its face before the second half even starts. SG.pro, they do make a great T side. 9 rounds is pretty incredible for a map like Nuke, but you look at the way that the first half sort of petered out. You expected SG.pro to at least get away with minimum 10, 11 rounds or so. But Illuminar, they did a really good job of making sure that that was not a possibility. 9-6. Pistol round on the way. SG.pro looking to at least get consistent here on the CT side, and more so, confirm 6 out of 6 pistols on this series so far. They've got 5 out of 5. They're looking for the triple pistol, on, well, double pistol and triple success value here. And, well, pressure applied. Dire caught in the B bomb site. Pressure applied, and Mouse takes it. Fame good return, but Snack's exactly the same. And is this finally where Illuminar gets some pistol success?
Oh, it's great to see Illuminar getting that bomb down ASAP. Rufar, Kisa. Oh no, Kisa has gone down. Rufar and Fame are the ones that have to try and win this pistol, but it does look like Illuminar will finally break the curse and get a pistol round victory themselves. Fame, though, does go down, and Illuminar. There we go. That's the one way you want to kick things off in this second half with a pistol round win, and they finally get it, breaking the streak of SG.pro.
Finally, a chance for Illuminar to generate some great early half rounds. As expected, SG.pro straight into the force buy, taking most out of a bad situation. MP9 Scout in the hands of Kisa, and Nova on the hands of Dire as well. Is a very interesting weapon to be seen played. Usually an auto shotgun in this kind of spot, but of course not being able to afford likes of anything greater. SG.pro, however, losing this round does spark Illuminar a great opportunity to tie the score at 9-9 and really begin to make Nuke competitive. And I mean, looking at the previous results from SG.pro, we cannot take away from the fact that, sure, they have one victory against, let's say, a very bang average side of August, but the way they've played teams around Illuminar's level, they've been barely able to get double digits. So there is still a chance for Illuminar to really find that sweet run of pace and pretty much shut SG.pro down before they get started on the second half.
Yeah, this is where seems to be a good start here for Illuminar, though. They're going down secret, but I'd still say gotta be careful here against the pistols. And Nova, as Duray, is of course playing in the HUD position, so it's not gonna be that impactful, I presume. It's always a scary thing when Illuminar right now, 35 seconds on the clock, and they're near the B bomb side, but not too close, if I'm being honest. Mouse, though. Uh-oh, he spots out the one. Oh, what the hell is going on? Finally, Mouse pulls the trailer on Duray, but you still have Fame getting the frag on Vegi and Illuminar. Yes, they have the lower bomb side, but look at this. They're going up the ladder, and Rufar gets the frag on Innocent. Oh, there's so little time for Illuminar to work with. Maybe they should have just committed to the lower side. Now, they need to hold on the A side, and it's not looking good. Mouse goes down, and SG.pro win the round.
Oh, that is what you love to see. Getting away with a very nice force buy victory, and just look at their inventory now. They get away with 3 AKs, the round itself, and Illuminar's, well, is in their back pocket. 10-7. Eco round on the way for Illuminar. Maybe a little bit of a force buy, though, looking at the fact that they've only got 1900 round loss bonus. It's not even going to be a stable buy for the next round, so yeah, as to be expected, a force buy round here from Illuminar, but more so, an opportunity presented pretty much on a silver platter for SG.pro to not just get themselves a nice start on the CT side, but extend that barrier to around 5 potential rounds. A 12-7 is on the horizon, providing that Illuminar lose this one. SG.pro can really start to gain some traction.
See what they can do with those SG.pro too. Try and get themselves consecutive. It's one of the areas Illuminar struggled themselves, but now ability being deployed here from Illuminar on the A bomb side. Duray being blinded completely, and this is a very solid hold. Rufar even runs in the danger zone to get a few more frags, and it will be a very solid hold. So much for Illuminar trying to get that round win their way with the utility and the pistols and the armor. It still wasn't enough, and for Illuminar, that's frustrating, you know. They win the pistol, they kind of convert that second round, they try to go for another force buy, it does not succeed, and now, you know the drill. It's a simple eco.
Where, of course, Illuminar will start to take themselves a very nice little lead here for SG.pro. As Illuminar down, like you say, locks is all they have No upgraded pistols, no nothing here. A very awkward scenario for Illuminar to try and comprehend. They're stuck in a bit of a rut. Really got to try and get out of it as quickly as they can to ensure the safety of this third and final map. If they, of course, lose it, if you are new to this broadcast and new to the game itself, whoever loses this one, they're out of the entire tournament. No more they play. SG.pro looking to survive. Looking to at least extend their stay for a little while longer. Minute on the clock. Look at Rooffire.
What is he
confident
doing?
Going into the main positions. Will be able to take out Mouse. Works out that if they're not down lobby, if they're not in trophy room, they're probably sat towards outside.
Yeah, but of all the rounds, when you can go for ballsy plays, that is not one of them, Rooffire. I mean, that's risky. That's a very big risk because you have no idea what the players are stationed at. Maybe there are someone that's close by. Now he's being gunned down as expected. The M4 has been recovered though, but not sure if Snacks can get anything done with it, and apparently not. 12-7 it is. SG.pro still with the lead. And Illuminar. It's not do or die just yet, but we're getting very close to that scenario, so Illuminar in desperate need to try and win themselves the 20th round. Purchase comes in, of course. Snacks just, he's just $50 shy of getting himself an AWP. A little bit dissatisfying, but it is what it is.
Fortunate, but yeah, it's something that they do have to deal with here. Right now, with the way that Illuminar have been setting up for a, well, uprising. Might not be for too long right here as Pro get away with the early entry. 13-7 is the chance to break Illuminar's back. That's exactly what SG.pro are looking for right now. Outside control established by Illuminar. They will have a couple of players down on this B bomb site to defend against. A quick rotate from ramp, but more so, the player of Fame sat ready and waiting. Or it actually might be Rooffire. I know it is Fame, but waiting for the angle. But Illuminar, they realize that funneling through secret, funneling through such a choke angle might not be the best of opportunities. They'll smoke down main, try and take outside control instead. They've got plenty of time to do it, but I wouldn't dilly-dally for much longer. They can't be entering a site and not being able to check those corners, clear the angles. They do need to leave themselves at least enough time to do that.
Well, there we go. Being boosted up here in the heaven position. Such a powerful spot to be in as the T. So now we're going to be committing to the bomb set itself. You have the high ground, but now, I mean, the defense is still looking stronger. The A bomb set as strong as ever. Rooffire, though, gets to kill an innocent, and now the players, they finally commit from the heavens, but this ploy is so obvious right now. Kisa and Sinador go in. That'll be 13 for SG.pro. Illuminar, nice attempt there, but they lose the players way too early on there. And when it does come down to the 3v5 take on the A bomb set, again, the players from heaven, once they pop out, it's suddenly a 2v5, and it's so difficult for them to do anything. As well as no bomb plant. No extra money in their pockets.
So weak. I'm surprised they actually, I was going to say, I'm surprised they actually don't go for a force buy here. That's pretty much to be expected. Fortunately, will be able to get themselves a pistol buy round here. Well, not going to be anything special. There's at least a chance to make some damage, and well, Veggie, that's what he's able to do here at this point. Gets away with the first kill, looking to find some more, but this time, Kisa and Fame ensuring the safety of the round so far. 4 on 3, pistols and Kevlar still available. They've still got a chance. Make some damage here. More likely than not. Bro, getting very close to quickly closing out Nuke.
Oh, finally Mouse chimes in. I actually wanted to see Mouse get a kill from that spot because I don't think I've ever seen anyone being boosted up in that position from the T set and successfully picking up a kill. It's just, I don't get to see it often, or ever for that matter. Same though. Ooh, that's the problem. Mouse is being incredibly sneaky on the bomb side. So much so, in fact, that he's gonna look to his okay in front of him, and Mouse gets the frag on Fame. Suddenly there's an opportunity for a bomb plant in this scenario, and Senator alongside DeRay. The great thing is that both players are sticking together. That's the best way to go about it. But a player like Mouse, he has shown proficiency in the clutch in the past. Let's see if he can pull it off again.
Difficult with an AWP, but time is ticking away. Mouse gets away with the first, spots out the second. Again, another clutch. From Illuminar that keep them in the game. Just about a 1v2 needed and a 1v2 gathered. SG.pro not out of the water yet. They will go for a rebuy, but Illuminar still showing signs of life.
Oh, this is an impeccable clutch here from a player like Mouse. Something you don't get to see too often, but Mouse, something about him this series that he's been just so proficient in the clutch department, winning these very important duels with the ops as well. Whenever he gets an op in his hands, it feels like he's got such a good opportunity to win himself, you know, the duel or the round in this case. Well, now, Illuminar, maybe that's the lifeline they needed to bounce back in this series. Still not going to be easy, though. It's a long endeavor before we can hope to see Illuminar in a more prominent position to win this round as well. That's a nice bonus moving forward. Senator with the op, and now to the first, and there's the kill from Veggie. Very good way to kick things off for SG.pro. That's going to slow down the advancement in ramp if there ever was the initial idea to go for that push. Because now Illuminar have to look for other options.
Yeah. 4, make 5-on-3. Deere catches off on the angle, able to get away with the kill. Snacks just about survives. Deere not wanting to hunt him down, but rightly so. They don't know the location of majority of the players so far. Now still stuck in the corner, trying to get away with chance to get a kill, but do they spot him out? Now they do, surely. Yes, they do. Fire still the spray. Landing tags on PHR, a finished job by Deere. And a 4-on-2 with Snacks on 4 points of health. Ooh, Mouse able to turn it back. Wait a second, Snacks as well. Here is an opportunity. Mouse trapping him in, but Fame gets the kill down to a 1v2, and they know that the last man was the planter.
Oh, they have no idea how low or not low is Snacks, but they are expecting him to be with the AWP. That's the thing, though. Again, love the fact that they're playing together in this one, but they failed in the past year. SG.pro. This cannot be it. Are they expecting him in the hut? I believe they are. Ooh, those bullets whizzing through. Snacks, though. Oh, gets the tag. Not enough to. Oh, gets the player. I think he's done it. 1 HP versus the 4, and Snacks. This is incredible. He pulled it off. He wins the round, and Illuminar win the 9th.
How is that even possible, Snacks? Wow. What a way to secure the victory for Illuminar. We're sticking around for a little bit longer. The fact that he tags onto Fame and lines up even the second shot onto Senator. That's absolutely insane. Illuminar, of course, go straight for the tactical pause. They need it after such a scenario. Wow. 13-9. The scary part is, Illuminar still aren't out of the ditch in terms of economy. This round is still going to be difficult, but it seems like they're ready for the fight at least.
Oh, they're out here to play, all right. Not going to give up that easily. But oh boy, what a round as well. I mean, I cannot believe that a player that's like Snaps still manages to pull it off. 4 HP on the AWP, and yet succeeds. But the thing is as well, though, they win the round, but their economy is just in such a horrible state. Look, there's a few Galils being picked up. The max in the hands of innocent. Utilities there, that's great and all, but This is rather dissatisfying investment, if I'm being honest.
Pretty much really keeps them isolated, yeah, in terms of the fact that if they do lose this round, they're pretty much facing the same effect of gonna have to be an eco. I mean, either side, actually. Whoever loses this one will face economic hardship. Innocent taking out Roofire down in the rafters of the bomb site. Straight B-sided rush. Kisa, very nice shot. Takes out Mouse. At least leaves a little bit of pressure. With 3 itchy grenades thrown in, so much damage. Kisa left on 7 points of health. The retake, it's still so difficult for a SG.pro to complete here. They have a kit, have a little bit of utility, but they have no idea of the positions of Illuminar.
They're trying to go for this one. Very ballsy move here from SG.pro, but so far, okay, maybe it's gonna work out for them. Look at this. 3 kills in quick succession, allowing a player like Snacks. No, he's doing it again! I think he's done it! Oh no, DeRay! There's no time! Snacks does it again!
What is this? That's twice in a row. Oh my. SG.pro, that's gotta be such a headache. Take attack timeout. Take some sort of pause, please. They can't. They can't allow that. Well, not allow that, but they've got to feel some sort of way from that. But no, fair enough. They keep on going. Oh, what is this, Illuminar? The rounds they're winning right now, you couldn't even write them yourself at this point. SG.pro 13 and 10. They still have a lead. They still have a bye, but Illuminar, they're still biting at the ankles of success here.
Oh my, Illuminar. Last 3 rounds they won came down to these clutch scenarios, and if there ever is a way to kickstart a comeback, it's by winning the impossible rounds. And Illuminar got that checkmark tick. Now then, it's time to winning the more plausible rounds. A proper gun round taking place. Sinitor, though, goes in the early Molotov, but it's not early enough. Snacks gets the frag and Sinitor. Now again, the advantage is in the hands of Illuminar, but Roofire, a flow to the MP9, goes down to Veggie. DeRay needs to hold the line. He holds the spray, but it's not enough. And SG.pro have lost the bomb site.
Oh dear, oh dear. 13 to 11, really starting to look likely now. This one is starting to take shape very nicely. Illuminar, they are on their way back. They are starting to make this one look so dangerous here in the latter stages of the series. Third map is, well, providing all the action.